Folks, for you at home, we have the opportunity to see a real reporter in action. Michael Tracey has done, and full disclosure, I went to Connecticut College for college.
Chill.
Low-key flex.
Time for another gun out.
Yeah, there we go.
To flex on him.
Please no, please don't, please.
The Connecticut College, the story is this, that Michael Tracey did some deep dive and found out that when students came to the Connecticut College campus, there's about 1,600 students who go to Connecticut College, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's 1,800.
It's so small.
It's so small, but it was smaller than my high school.
Wow.
My public high school was something like 2,200 kids.
Wow.
Or something in Worcester. And when they came back, you needed to be have a vaccine, like many of these colleges, and they did testing. And they did, apparently, according to Michael Tracey, too rigorous or too uptight of testing. And they found that there were 50 infections. Now, people can do the math. That's, I don't know, several percentage points infected in the first couple of days. And so they did basically a lockdown, a quarantine. People are going to stay in the dorms. You can obviously come out and eat. And at Connecticut College, a lot of the dorms have cafeterias. Or at least they did. I presume many of them still do. So they wanted basically people not to go to classes. I think there was a lot of Zoom classes for, you ready for this? 10 days. Now, if you have been to school or work in the past, you know that over the course of 10 days, you don't have 10 class days because they only do it during school days. So you're talking about there'll be 7 school days where you're in lockdown with the Zoom. And the college now is extremely expensive. It's like, as far as I can tell, 6 times more expensive than when I went, maybe 7 times, which is consistent with what's happening with student debt. So Michael Tracey got many emails and messages from students that they were upset about this.
You know, this 10-day quarantine, they did that on The Bachelor, too. Maybe he should storm the set next time to see if any of the contestants have...
and he announced on a Substack that he would be going up there to investigate because, and this is how you do reporting, folks. This is good for you cub reporters out there. When you go to report on something, always bring your karaoke machine so that you can announce that you've arrived. Play this clip.
What I was about to say is, the main reason, just to reiterate, the main reason I'm here is not because I have any particular interest in what goes on at a small liberal arts college in Connecticut that I've never been to. It's because I've gotten so many, dozens of messages, phone calls, texts from people who have strong criticisms of the policy that you're all now subject to, but say unanimously that they cannot voice them in public because if they do, they will be subject to disciplinary action, they will be subject to social repercussions, they will face problems with their athletic programs, and on and on and on. So if you're not aware of that sentiment existing on the campus around you, maybe you ought to be a little bit more aware, because I don't think it's good for anyone, whether you support the policies or oppose them, if there's this climate of conformity where if you transgress, then you're subject to, disciplinary action and possibly expulsion.
Great reporting.
Why? As a journalist, because they cannot speak on their own behalf. I think. Hold on. No. I'll define for myself, thank you, what my job as a journalist is.
Is this for a Fox News?
I don't think you're...
He wants a Fox News. He wants a piece on the New York Post. He does.
He's not going to get it.
I go on. I was on a left-wing podcast.
He is Tucker Carlson.
I was on a left-wing show.
I'm cool. famous. I was in a podcast.
I do what everybody will have.
Gather attention from you.
I've talked to you for about an hour. How about that?
Here's the
Are you
best
a right-wing
part.
student?
Listen to this.
Now, please, leave this campus. Get off. Please, we do not want you
One
here.
word, okay.
Pause it for 1 second. Pause it for 1 second. Pause it. So he's asked now. Now remember, the premise of this is that he is up there because there is such a climate of fear on the campus that supposedly you're going to be subject to disciplinary action
and social repercussions
and some vague social repercussions if you speak out about the lockdown. Now this is just absurd. There is now I don't know if it's still the case, but when I was there, it was an all student run honor code. It was one of the few colleges in the country that had one where the administration had no say in the adjudication and the meting out of punishment for just about every possible infraction, ranging from cheating to anything else. And it is the idea that there is something in the honor code about speaking out against COVID restrictions is just very hard to believe. Now, with social...
Did he study the honor code at Connecticut College?
He sort of vaguely referenced it in the Substack.
That's
And then the
reporting.
idea, like, social repercussions, like, people go like, dude, just chill, is like, I'm sorry.
Well,
like,
there's social repercussions for him being there. We can't bury
Well-
this later in the segment. We have to show this interaction.
we will show that. But it is like, where are the dozens of people? I mean, dozens means like 24 to 36 or 48 people. I mean, that's a lot of people on that campus.
Reminds me of that time they went to Capitol Hill and had a big rally.
Why aren't they there, though? These people. But he is asked, Michael, in one word, why are you here? And here it is. Here he is. This is what he's doing. Here, play it back just a little bit. Go.
In one word, why are you here?
In one word, why are you here?
I was on a left-wing show.
Michael, I'm famous. I was in a podcast.
I do what everybody will have.
Gather attention from you.
I've talked to you for about an hour. How about that? Are you a right-wing student?
Now, please, leave this campus. Get off. Please, we do not want you
One
here.
word, okay. One word on here is... Can I use 3 words?
Three too many, but come on.
Giving voice to the voiceless. That's 4.
It's way more than 3.
Really, I mean, have you ever stopped to consider if it's a fruitful intellectual environment for so many of their classmates to just be...
He's giving voice to the voiceless.
That didn't
Not
happen.
3 words.
That's why he
It
brought
is
a
actually,
microphone.
it's 5 words. It's 5 words, by the way. It's 5 words.
5 words. But why isn't he giving the microphone to other people?
Yeah,
if that's what he's doing. It sounds
He's
like
doing
he's giving
reporting.
He's giving voice to himself. It seems like.
Yeah, by the voiceless, he means his Substack subscribers.
Exactly. But here is the real. Here's the thing where I gained a lot of pride in my alma mater. Here is the question that really stumped Michael Tracey at out on I think it's Route 32 that he is actually standing on, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's Mohegan Ave. I'm not quite sure, but here it is.
As long as people want to stay out here.
Can I make a point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I
Okay, sorry, we got a question over here.
How do you feel about Joe's statement on this matter?
Whose statement?
Joe!
Who's Joe?
Camel moment!
I respect you.
There you go. Giving voice to the voiceless.
It is like a Don DeLillo scene to have a guy who claims to be up there to do journalism, not take like a pen and put that thing in your hat, the little like slip of paper that you use for reporting.
Yeah.
Instead of that, you have a Wi-Fi
machine.
a karaoke machine with a cordless microphone and a
Little
speaker,
antenna.
and you just shout at the people you're ostensibly reporting on.
I don't get that. I don't get what any of that is about.
That's journalism, baby.
And it's not like an impromptu type of thing. Like I came here for journalism, but wait a second, someone left a speaker over here and a microphone. I'm just going to pick that up in the course of my journalistic reportorial duties.
I'm thinking about like I.F. Stone like marching around with a megaphone or something.
That's what they
What
did.
happened to this man? Oh man.
Seymour Hersh was a really early pioneer in megaphone technology. He used to just walk around the Pentagon screaming into it.
I would love to, Tracey to show up at my kids' elementary school to give voice to the voiceless. And you children are being oppressed by wearing your mask.
He's giving voice to the voiceless by giving himself a voice.
That's right.
With the microphone.
It's
No, I don't care about what's
drowning.
happening at daycare. I just think that the oppression here is outrageous.
Absolutely. I'm here to liberate you. It's extraordinary. It really is extraordinary.
It's so amazing every time this happens to see someone make this shift, like just that arc, 2 years ago to today. And we've seen so many people, but this is a guy who used to believe in science. He was a troll before, but he wasn't like a science denier. I mean, this is just total opportunism, obviously.
Well,
but it's amazing.
Remember
to
when
see.
he doxed Lena Dunham?
Oh yeah.
Naomi, did you hear that Glenn Greenwald is publicly advocating for Michael Tracey because he's a regular guy. He's got a girlfriend, and she's delightful.
I missed this. Catch me up.
Yet. Well, I mean, we should get into why Sam is doing this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So after online liberal media figures, arguably like us, made Michael Tracey one of their most frequent targets for attack. Well, I guess we don't do that really.
I mean, he attacked us and we invited him on and had a conversation.
He built up a large following, then got an ample Substack deal.
Deliciously ample.
It was a very
ample deal.
Odd deal. I am so enriched by this deal surrounding me. It's so much more than I could have ever hoped for.
It's a bodacious Substack deal.
A major book contract.
Wait, what?
Damn, these adjectives are...
Yeah, he really went to the thesaurus for this one.
And an even.
Man.
A delightful girlfriend.
That alone, break that down. Even.
Even.
This would have been...
And then... And they simply have no idea how widely despised they are. Let's just be clear here. If we were drawing a diagram, Sam or someone else mocks Michael Tracey, delightful woman sees this and says,
I wasn't introduced
I wasn't in any way interested in Michael Tracey before. But now, well, how do I get a piece of that?
Sam's single, so we got it. That's what we're doing. This is basically for Sam's love life.
Oh, Sam was telling us off air, sorry if this gets me fired, that he wants to steal Michael Tracey's delightful girl.
Well, no, that's not what it is. It is, I am hoping that Glenn and Michael attack me.
So that you can be despised.
So that I can be despised and get a delightful girlfriend.
Which delightful girlfriend? We can't say.
I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
I like
It's coming for you.
The ample, those adjectives, like ample Substack deal. What was it? The large book contract?
Major book deal.
It's almost like that. I would write it that way if I was trying to be facetious and make fun of Michael Tracey.
Yeah. Well, that's the weird part. And then there's this whole sort of the girlfriend thing seems to be a theme, because then somebody asks them a question, which I think is sort of a rude question to ask somebody.
Yeah.
Unless they've, but Glenn Greenwald put it out there in some interview where somebody asked him, are you...
Ask Tracey,
are you... Did they say, are you autistic, or they said on the spectrum?
Yeah, you're on the spectrum or something.
On the spectrum, which I really do think is,
It's horrible.
It's just
Probably
an
shouldn't ask,
inappropriate
yeah.
question. But he argued that he's not because he has a girlfriend.
Which is an interesting response.
Which I thought was also sort of weird because it never occurred to me that
A little bit of ableism.
I think there are plenty of autistic people in relationships.
that's
Yeah,
This is more about like, do women hate you because you're complete fucking assholes?
well, I mean,
Apparently not one.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with being on the spectrum, which he conflated. So
Because he hears what he wants to hear. Opportunity. But it's also like how pathetic is he that they had to like, it's like Glenn was like looking for some compliments. Like when you have to compliment someone, you're like, they kind of suck. Oh, he has a girlfriend. He wears clothing, clean clothing.
it's just so weird. First of all, it's horribly, horribly objectifying of the girlfriend.
yeah,
I mean, the idea that her inspiration to go out even with Michael Tracey was a function of the attacks that he had online is just sort of like, look at these prizes he won.
oh yeah,
sort of
yeah.
gross.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I heard when Glenn Greenwald defended Nazis, he said even Hitler had a girlfriend.
Good point.
Eva Braun was delightful.
And he loved dogs. He had an ample, thick dog.
Oh, all right. Juicy,
Wrong
I measure
again.
my personal success by admiring my collection of ample girlfriends. Mr. Microphone, that's what it was called, says Bahabab. And all right, two more. Sam Seder simp. Some good news for California. While turnout in LA, San Diego is lagging a bit. San Francisco turnout is high, indicating likely strong turnout for more liberal Northern California. While I personally don't think Newsom is the greatest, he's been okay overall in the time to focus on getting him out. Is now on the recall rather than the primaries coming up next year. Indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, the final I am of the day. I have a girlfriend too. She goes to a different school in Canada. I met her at summer camp. Oh. Oh, yeah. The classic. I have a girlfriend. She's French. She comes twice a year. She visits.
She's actually busy modeling now.
Yeah,
in the French Riviera.
It kind of
I'm supposed to go to Cannes, but I couldn't do it because I have to do my homework.
It's tough, but we love each other so much.
It kind of pairs nicely with the Nicki Minaj tweet about her cousin's friend's testicles.
Yeah, exactly.
More on that tomorrow.
Yeah, my
Why did we
cousin.
talk about that, guys? I'm so
The whole
depressed.
fun half tomorrow is Nicki Minaj's friend's testicle.
No,
I don't get to talk.
friend's testicle.
Engorged testicles and unworking penis.
I stand corrected.
Yep.
Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.